Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame where we now have a bearish signal flashing in the short term, but there's quite a lot happening on this chart, guys. So I'm just going to walk you through this one step at a time. First of all, let's talk about this symmetrical triangle pattern right here, because this is now potentially breaking to the downside. And once this candle actually confirms, it will set up this price target at 112K. Besides that, we are potentially also forming this falling wedge pattern, as you can see right here with this descending line of resistance and this descending line of support as well. If we end up getting another touch with this line of support, I will be looking for a reversal out of there and potentially even breaking this descending line of resistance to set up some kind of price target to the upside. But for now, in the short term, this is looking pretty bearish here. Something you could pay attention to is this level of support sitting at around 116.5K, so around these previous lows. We could still see some kind of bounce off of there, and the point of invalidation for this pattern is at about 118K in the Bitcoin price. If we end up trading above 118K, I will cross off this price target, meaning that it is no longer active and I will no longer be targeting that level. And staying on this short term, taking a look at this 2-hour time frame, we have now broken down below this ascending line of support. So yeah, this is also looking relatively bearish, especially if we end up breaking down below these previous lows at around 116.5K. Moving on to the higher time frames though, because this still isn't looking extremely bearish to me. We are simply in an uptrend at the moment, and so long as we keep holding above this line of support, then I don't think too much is actually going on with Bitcoin. Basically, so long as we hold above 113.7K, then all is fine, and we could still see another bounce to the upside and still continue to look for that next move to the upside here. But we just have to keep in mind that the short term is looking more risky than when we were breaking out at this point right here, for example. Same thing can be said for this 2-day time frame, because here again we have that bull flag pattern which broke out at 108K, roughly speaking. Right here, I still have this price target to the upside at 126K. So now if you're new to the channel, you may be asking like, okay, why do you have a price target to the upside and a price target to the downside as well? Well, if you are really curious, I highly recommend you check out yesterday's video where I already talked about this symmetrical triangle pattern, that it is simply possible to have different price targets on different time frames. Either way, this price target to the upside is a bit of a longer term move, whereas this price target that I have to the downside is more of a shorter term move. So hopefully that gives a bit more clarity on that front. Moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, first of all on this 3-day time frame, because right now we have a decent amount of liquidity to the downside at 116.3K as well as 115.5K. But notice how if we, for example, zoom out to this 1 month time frame, that clearly most of the liquidity is to the downside right now, sitting at 115.5K once again. Yes, there is a bunch of liquidity to the upside at 121K as well. But like I said, guys, right now we are in a short-term downtrend, and therefore we need to look towards this downside liquidity first, and we would need to see some kind of break of the trend before we can start looking towards this upside liquidity once again. So as it stands right now, it looks quite likely that this 115.5K level is going to get taken out at some point sometime soon. I want to give a quick warning for these WhatsApp scammers in the comment section. I hope all of you guys know that this is obviously not me. I will never reach out to you with any kind of number. There are a bunch of fake accounts that look like my profile, so please be careful out there. And I will never ask you for money or to deposit on some weird exchange that you have never heard me talk about. Either way, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.